Bah, 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 bah. Mic check, mic check, 1 2 1 2, mic check. Hey, what y'all think about that Cardi B album? I was listening to Cardi B, throughout the weekend, man, and she got some slaps on there. She got plenty slaps. Sound effects. We got sound effects up here. Okay, okay. Oh man, this thing fire. Hey, that's that welcome back right there. That doesn't sound like a kiss. Well, let me see something right quick. Nope, not that one. Not that one either. Okay, there we go. Man, we building it as we go. That's a fact, though. And on top of that, let's see what this. Oh man, I thought it was gonna actually boo. Hey, that's the sound of glory. Yeah, that'll work. Hey, that's fire right there. That is fire. I like that. So let's go on TikTok, fam. That's hard right there. That's hard. A lot of stuff on TikTok, it really built on nostalgia.
Level 4 apples, guys. We still have the level 4 apples.
Y'all doing y'all thing tonight, man. What's good, DJ?
Acting like a baby. I'm gonna count it off. I'm on three. Oh, he's all right. Happy meal. Duck your wreck with my soul. Who is you? Get off my. You really shouldn't wear makeup. You're not so perfection.
You have to leave people somewhere outside of here so that you can build value off of this live stream. Right? Because on here, this is like really thinking about you put so much time into live time at it. You put a lot of time into live streaming. So it's like you also give people places to find other things that you do. Because a lot of live streamers just a live stream. So I feel like
I like speechless. Speechless. Stairways.
She got a lot to say. She just.
Oh, yeah. I know, but it won't be on here. It won't be on here what she got to say. Yeah.
Who is that?
I ain't gonna lie, I don't know. She looks
No,
crazy.
you put him in clap if we don't know who it is.
50-50 is better. 50-50?
Okay, put in 50
You
50
know what,
for
for like,
guess what you get? Unlimited training, resources, free marketing materials from all the suppliers. Hi, Nita Willis. Thanks for joining my live. You don't have to be I don't know how to do it. The suppliers teach us how to use their product, and they teach us how to use their platform for the agent, right? So there is demand, on demand, online, 24/7 access. So whenever you have time to work your business.
54 followers, 291. All we get is this pretty face here, Ashley. Who are you, Ashley?
Veteran, that's
A
cool.
lot of female. I don't. Can you blame me? I'm in the throwbacks. I'm with the Missy Elliott. I'm with the left eyes. I'm with the heels. Like that's my kind of vibe or whatever.
I'll get in on this conversation.
You know, the artist is but I genuinely enjoyed this project.
I know you did.
Like I can't really fake my enjoyment for stuff. I noticed that, but this was really like a good project. Project from the lyrics, like the lyrics were really hitting. Like it wasn't no just I guess be a level.
Very good project.
But it was really, 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 really good. Like listening to the lyrics and her hitting, like bar for bar was crazy. Like I'm really on that magnet track. I'm really on magnet salute.
That's actually really, really hard.
Unanswered points, and they come back and win the ball game by the what? 29, 20. Oh, 20.
Man, I'm stuck in this whole room, man.
Yeah. Hey, listen, that's what the top
Been
five.
here all
That's what the top
weekend.
five quarterback does. Stats are cool. Numbers are cool. It looks good. But with like Unc say, when the rubber reader, when the
Been here all weekend long, man. All weekend long. See something. What we gonna add up here? What's good? What's good? Man, I'm just floating through the internet right quick, man. I've been in this hotel. Actually, I have moved into this hotel Saturday morning because I got kicked out of my hotel because I didn't book. Where's my sound effect? Yeah, I didn't book up. Secure my hotel through the weekend. This is a college town, and there was a home game for the weekend, and everything got booked up at the last minute. My stupid ass was going day for day, and I ended up losing my good hotel. So now I'm in the hood. And when I mean hood, I mean it is hood. Whew. Got some characters out here, man. I think I seen a rat just run by. Looked like a cat, but I swear that thing had rat written all over it, bro. Hmm. I like that. That's hard. Let me see something. Cause what I want to do is add see a screen, fit to screen, crop. And that's the thing, right? Like there's been sirens going off all day and night. I'm telling you, man, it's the hood out here, dog. It's the hood. Ghetto as hell. You know, there's a ghetto everywhere you go to. I don't care what city or state that you're in. Hey, you ain't even got to look for it either. It'll find you. Record. Mic check, mic check. Hey, what's good? A display capture. Anyway, let's listen to some Cardi B, dog. Hey, what y'all think about that Magnet by Cardi B? I think she got her slap right here. Um, some people was criticizing her flow, you know, slow face bitch. My spot's forever. My spot's like a Dalmatian. Yeah, I mean, it's Cardi B. You know what you expect, right? What you uh, you know what I mean? We're gonna give her. It's Cardi B, right? You know, she's talking about her looks. She's not talking about her bars. She's talking about looks, man. All right. So we're gonna and when I'm thinking that her rivalries, her peers, whenever they start talking about rapping and what they're good at and what they're best at, they're not talking about dropping some bars and spitting, hot fire. They're talking about WAP, Yeah. They're talking about WAP. They're not talking about stacking their rhymes, man, and building some crazy rhyme flows, man. But this is Cardi B Magnet. Let's go. Now I ain't gonna lie, that did sound kind of clunky, and if I was like to grade it, I would definitely take a point off, which I did. Got my baby daddy acting like my baby mama. That's a good line right there. That is a good line. See what I'm saying? Like there got to be a trade off. Like you know that she's gonna say something slick, right? Within her Puerto Rican accent, her Puerto Rican dialect. Is she Puerto Rican? I keep calling this girl Puerto Rican. She may not even be Puerto Rican. She probably be like Dominican. Let me. Is Cardi B Puerto Rican or what? Y'all let me know. Uh, Belize, Brooklyn Community College. It says born and raised in New York. All right, I like it. Let's go to some early years though, because I keep calling her Puerto Rican. New York City. Father Carlos is Dominican, Trinidadian. Okay, so she's Dominican. My bad. I keep calling her Puerto Rican. So Dominican, Trinidad, Trinidadian. All right. Because I don't want to keep calling her um, Puerto Rican and she ain't Puerto Rican because I know that can be offensive. You know what I'm saying? It's like somebody calling me, yo, you Jamaican. Like, nigga, I'm Geechee. Guan Guan. Guan. But yeah, man, she's rhyming through that Dominican accent, man.
I know I could probably run a pageant, baby. They say I'm a trick if I be feeling like a man, baby.
Which which is interesting, right? Because she's born and raised in the United States, right? And that just goes to speak to how diverse America is. Like there is a lot of pockets here in the United States where people their first language, their first dialect won't necessarily be of the King's English. You know, it'll be some other form of Spanish, because you have Mexican Spanish, Dominican Spanish, Puerto Rican, Cuban, all of them speak a different dialect, you know, and they may even go, a few days or a few months and they don't even speak not now bit of English unless they're in public school, like if they're like throughout the summer, they're speaking their native tongue or their home tongue. Yeah, that goes for me too, right? Shit, when I'm down in the South, it gets gutter. And sometimes it's hard for me to formulate words too. That's America, man. The melting pot. Shout out to America.
Gotta keep it classy. If you see me EFT, bitches can fuck with me. Every day that's honey pounds. You know my money from. Shout out to my hub, the way the pants that come out. Got my baby daddy acting like my baby mama. Face pretty, I know I could probably run
She threw Kamala's husband up under the bus. What did he do?
a pageant, baby. They say I'm a trick if I be feeling like a man, baby. I'm just young and ratchet, baby. Love it when you smack it, baby. She just calling me and they keep saying, let's get at it, baby. Bitch can't do like me. Bitch can't do like me. I woke up and I'm still in the lead. I know these hoes are bad. It's time for us to gag. Let's talk about the same ass bitch. Grateful ass bitch.
Woo!
Mr. Gotta say that bitch.
Uh,
Burn ass bitch. A clown ass bitch. On the net, kick your friend while she down ass bitch. Your loyalty depends on you around ass bitch. Back door hoe, hating on the low ass bitch. You a shady ass bitch. You been trash since birth. Mama didn't want you, Prince baby ass bitch. Still bragging.
hey, I'm gonna tell you what's so ironic about that line with the baby, the Brenda baby, the Brenda's got a baby, Brenda had a baby ass bitch line is that I was like, yo, throughout this album, she's feels like Tupac. She got that spirit of Tupac, and then for her to reference Brenda's got a baby, I was like, yeah, yeah, that's right on point right there, man. Now if she would have said something about like hit him up, we would have been in there.
Ass bitch, got a feeder ass bitch. For that dick rider through ain't get no feature ass bitch. She just mad she got a nigga she be sharing bags with. My nigga cheaper, I don't stick no dildos in his ass bitch.
Oh, oh,
Would've took you to the show, little bitch. Face pretty, I know I could probably run a pageant, baby. They say I'm a trick if I be feeling like a man, baby. I'm just young and ratchet, baby. Love it when you smack it, baby. Only one that if it's good and have me acting. Bitch can't do like me. Bitch can't do like me. Woke up and I'm still in the lead. I know these hoes are bad. It's time for us to gag.
putting belt the ass. I ain't gonna lie, man. Like the more you listen to it, the more it becomes like catchy. I'm putting belt the ass. I feel that. I really do. I feel that. Y'all know what I like too. I really do like Bodega Baddie. I think Bodega Baddie. I think Bodega Baddie might be uh probably like a top three record on this album. Like this gotta come out as a single. If they can somehow release this during the festive time, this is gonna go. I like that. I like that. That's hard. That's hard, man. It's hard, man. Somebody said this sound like this sound like you're actually in the bodega where the cat be sleeping on the bread. That's hard. That's hard, man. I know, man. Mm. I like this flow. I like this delivery. I like everything about this record. This is salute. That's hard. Man, that shit hard, bro. I can't even lie. What's going on in the trucking world, man? Hold up, man.
First this afternoon, police in Brooklyn are searching for the driver of a dump truck who hit and killed a woman and kept on going. It happened on Eastern Parkway in
Damn, that's crazy. That is crazy, man. That is crazy, man. Let's get back at it.
Crown Heights. That's where Eyewitness News reporter Crystal Cranmore is live this afternoon with the latest. Crystal?
Good afternoon, Sandra. Well, we are learning a little bit more about the victim. I do want to step out the way just so you can see where this all happened. This is Eastern Parkway and Schenectady. Now, we're told from community members she's actually an older woman who would actually often beg drivers for money here on Eastern Parkway. Now, a grocer shared with us that a surveillance video captured the woman in the street even as the light turned green. And he says she was right next to the bumper of this large truck, and he believes it's possible the driver might not have even seen her. Take a look at video. This is video of the scene from earlier this morning. Police telling us that the crash happened around 5:20 this morning. Medics pronounced the woman dead at the scene. Now, we know police are looking for a dark.
Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Hold up.
Colored 18-wheeler that was headed east.
And it was an 18-wheeler, man. Man. You know, you're up there in New York. You have to be mindful of your surroundings. I'm just going to assume that he probably did see her, but ain't no telling. Ain't no telling. He hit a pedestrian. It said that the surveillance caught her in the street, and she's begging for change. And one thing that we do know about these people that do beg for change, and let me tell you, they will get off that curb, they will get off the sidewalk and get into the road, you know, from time to time. They will do that, placing themselves in danger. Like, hey, see me. It's wild. What's even more wild is this, that the 18 wheeler was able to get away in a city like New York. That you would figure that they have like a lot of surveillance, but somehow they wasn't able to catch up with the truck or identify the truck. That's crazy.
Eastern Parkway and kept going after the collision. Now, there are a number of cameras in the area that police have accessed as part of their investigation, including a local market. That's where I actually bumped into that grocer who, again, did not share his surveillance video with us, but instead describing what he saw and how often he would see this woman begging for money in the street. Now, people in the community say this stretch of road is a concern, especially with a school at this intersection. Residents telling us this is not the first fatality at this intersection.
They're normally asking for money in the streets when the car stops. And she's not the first person. Someone else passed away there as well a few years ago. So I don't know.
Wow. So we're talking about a city like New York. They're in Brooklyn. High pedestrian, a lot of foot traffic. Um, Close quarters driving.
What can be done to kind of like prevent something like this from happening again?
Which is horrific, you know, like it's always somebody passing away on these two intersections on Eastern Parkway. I mean, it's right in front of a school.
Now, again, police are looking for a dark colored dump truck. Anyone with information is urged to.
Oh, it's a dump truck. They said at first they said 18 wheeler, now they're saying it's a dump truck. Now that make more sense right there. That definitely make more sense. I'm saying to be in the boroughs,
Contact detectives. The investigation is ongoing. Now we're live.
because if you're in the 18 wheeler, you're being extra careful. Like you're on high alert. Man, that's wild.
The nationwide immigration crackdown figures to affect some industries more than others, construction, food service. But one less obvious industry with a huge footprint here in Arkansas is worried about hitting roadblocks.
TNT 11's Maya Ellison spoke with trucking industry lobbyists to learn whether we could feel the effects of the crackdown and the prices we pay for all those goods truckers deliver. The state's trucking association reported that 92.2% of manufactured goods are transported by trucks. Making that possible are the drivers behind the wheel. But recent legislation like Act 604 has put stricter regulations on drivers in Arkansas.
Since June 25th, they put 279 drivers out of service for not being able to meet that requirement.
Those numbers have opened up questions as to whether or not freight companies could feel the impact here in the state. Arkansas Trucking Association President Shannon Newton says that's not exactly the case.
The overall economic...
That sounds interesting, right?
Transported by truck.
Let's run that back.
Worried about hitting roadblocks.
TNT 11's Maya Ellison
Could immigration crackdown impact the truck?
Whether we could feel the effects of the crackdown and the prices we pay for all those goods trucking from. The state's trucking association reported that 92.2% of manufactured goods are transported by trucks. Making that possible are the drivers behind the wheel. But recent legislation like Act 604 has put stricter regulations on drivers in Arkansas.
Since June 25th, they put 279 drivers out of service.
279 drivers out of service. I would assume those would be the drivers who couldn't pass the English proficiency test.
For not being able to meet that requirement.
Those numbers have opened up questions as to whether or not freight companies could feel the impact here in the state. Arkansas Trucking Association President Shannon Newton says that's not exactly the case.
The overall economic dynamic in our industry right now is one of oversupply. So our industry is actually looking at almost 3 years of recession-like environment.
And because there are more drivers.
Oversupply. 3 years.
So our industry is actually looking at almost 3 years of recession-like environment.
As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and get down to the nitty gritty too, man. get to the nitty gritty. Let's go ahead and get right, man. Cause that was a interesting news story right there, man. Let's get back to that.
State. Arkansas Truck Association President Shannon Newton says that's not exactly the case.
The overall economic dynamic in our industry right now is one of oversupply. So our industry is actually looking at almost 3 years of recession-like environment.
And because there are more drivers than this is making sure that qualifications are met. The main focus is making sure that qualifications are met.
Let me get back. That's and that's what you're going to see a lot of, man. People who are in the industry right now, you're going to have to be on your P's and Q's. Seriously. It's going to get hella selective out there.
So our position on immigration is really indifferent to that. Like our position is the driver qualified? Is he medically qualified? Is he safe? Does he have the proper training and the credentials? And so across the board, you see these efforts to try to make sure that everybody's playing by the same set of rules.
Newton says that also includes operations like carriers who legally employ visa drivers from Mexico and Canada. The concern, however, is making sure policies.
You know, I had got into an accident. Well, this guy had hit my truck a few nights ago. That's why I'm in this hotel. And he has a brand new CDL from Canada. Brand new CDL holder from Canada. And when I mean brand new, I'm talking about July. Yeah.
Don't harm those who are following the law.
From our perspective as an association, it's making sure that the employers are informed. Like, what is the expectation and how do they become compliant How do they ensure that the drivers that they're hiring do have the appropriate credentials?
Steve Good with the Arkansas Retailers Association shares a similar view. He says while driver shortages aren't being felt in the state, they hope to ease concerns.
We're hiring folks that there are no issues with. So there is no fear in our retail stores. We don't see it from the wholesalers that we deal with. And even those that ship direct from the manufacturer, we're not seeing any issues there.
In Little Rock, Maya Ellison, THV. Policies don't harm those who are following the law.
From our perspective as an association, it's making sure that the employers are informed. Like, what is the expectation? How do they become compliant? How do they ensure that the drivers that they're hiring do have the appropriate credentials?
Steve Good with the Arkansas Retailers Association shares a similar view. He says while driver shortages aren't being felt in the state, they hope to ease concerns.
We're hiring folks that there are issues. There is no fear in our retail stores. We don't see it from the wholesalers that we deal with.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. All right, so there's no issues with drivers necessarily impacting retail because everything's good. Whew.
The cement truck driver accused of killing 2 people in a crash with a Hayes CISD school bus has been sentenced to 18 years in prison.
Wow.
Fox 7 Austin's Angela Shan.
Wow.
And is live at the Bastrop County Courthouse with more tonight. Angela.
Bastard.
Yeah, it was very emotional in court today. 10 people, from teachers to parents to the family of Ryan Wallace, made victim impact statements to Jerry Hernandez. Now, usually in court, the defendant is often expressionless, but not Hernandez. He was very expressive. When he walked in, he took a good look at everyone in the courtroom. He was handcuffed and had a waist chain, and he kept moving at first, so those kept jangling. And when the first victim made her statement, he sniffled. His attorney pushed a tissue box towards him, and then he jerked away. And when others made their statements, he could be seen either nodding his head or shaking his head. Keep in mind, we can only really see the back of his head at an angle. At one point, he even said out loud, "I have 3 daughters." At that point, the prosecutors told him to stop talking.
I hope it says the cement truck driver accused of killing 2 people in a crash. And that's the thing about capitalism, right? Everybody got to make a living here. Everybody got to make a living in America. Everybody got responsibilities. And things happen, accidents happens, you got while you out there making your money, getting to your money, people on their way to handling their business. And when accidents happen, somebody has to be accountable for those accidents. Somebody's going to have to pay the cost, right? The insurance people, you, right? And then if there is so much of an accident where a life is taken, somebody's going to have to pay the cost. Money can't bring those people back. So what you end up with, we going to have to seek justice some other type of way.
In March of 2024, a Hayes CISD.
Damn. Check out this video of this crash.
Told him to stop talking. In March of 2020.
Yeah, he's in the wrong lane. The fuck?
In March of 2024, a Hayes CISD bus was coming back from a field trip.
And it turned over, my lord. I couldn't imagine, sending my kids to some type of field trip and them not coming home. See, that's the other side of it. That's the other side.
Trip on State Highway 21. 44 students and 11 adults were on board. According to crash reports, Jerry Hernandez, a cement truck driver, crossed the center line into oncoming traffic, causing the bus to roll over, killing 5-year-old Ulises Montoya. Hernandez also hit a car behind the bus, killing 33-year-old Ryan Wallace.
Wow. Wow.
Not many people know Ryan. We will try to honor him by making changes in the laws. 18 years for taking 2 lives is not enough. Ryan was a brilliant mind.
Hernandez was charged with 2 counts of manslaughter and 2 counts.
Is he smiling? Is he smiling? It looked like he's smiling.
Of criminally negligent homicide. Court documents show Hernandez admitted to using marijuana the night before the crash, cocaine the morning of, and
what? Yo, this is crazy. And then you wonder why these trucking companies, they drug test you so much, because of this right here. This right here. Marijuana the night before, white girl the day of, and he's swerving in a cement truck, hitting a school bus with your babies on board. With your babies on board. With your brother, your sister, your nephew, your cousin, school teacher. And hit your brother that's in the car in the rear. That's crazy.
and only slept 3 hours. His JM Concrete is accused of not checking his background before they hired him. Court records show he pleaded guilty to 2 counts of manslaughter in June.
I don't think it's enough. I think we are all serving life sentences for his choices. Our kids and our families are impacted forever.
That's crazy.
And Trisha's son, she said during her victim impact statement, still has some glass in his body that they weren't able to remove. Everyone who made statements, describes the significant impact a lot of them have.
Let me tell you something, man. Any accident is just too damn much, okay? Any accident that you're in is horrific, catastrophic, right? But then to be hit by an 18-wheeler and then to end up on your side, and you know how those school buses are, they don't have seat belts. Yo, very sad.
Lasting PTSD, lasting injuries. It was very emotional. Now, Wallace's family was even calling on people to write to the parole board to make sure Hernandez serves his full sentence. Hernandez still faces a civil as well. Mike?
Angela.
Wow. Of course he does. Of course he does. That is wild, man.
The nationwide immigration.
We are learning 2 girls were found in a refrigerated tractor trailer yesterday after it was involved in a crash.
What? Two teen girls found inside a refrigerated truck involved in a 28-year-old man is facing aggravated child abuse charges.
Crash on I-15. Take a look at video from the crash that caused major backups near Linden. While police were investigating the crash, they discovered 2 girls, ages 12 and 14, inside the trailer. They say the girls had likely been in the trailer for about 2 hours, and there was no way for them to exit.
Man, you got all type of crazy people out here, dog. People who want to prey on your kids. What the hell? In Utah. What is going on in Utah? Like, seriously though, what's going on in Utah, man? Y'all doing way, way, way too much, man.
Officers also say the thermostat was set to 30 degrees. The driver, Jacob Ortel Scott, was arrested for aggravated child abuse. Utah Highway Patrol is now investigating.
Wow.
And we begin at 6 with these frightening moments on the 101 freeway. A family pinned and then spun in a pickup truck by another truck. Good evening once again, everyone. I'm Colleen Williams.
And I'm Michael Bradley. We're showing
That looked like road rage right there, man.
you this video because of the nature of this encounter and the safety concerns for those involved and the others there on the freeway.
Now, for the first time and only on NBC4, we're hearing from the people who are inside that red pickup truck. Our Alex Rozier has that story, all new tonight at 6. Alex.
Colleen and Michael, the family said that there was an 8-year-old, 6-year-old, and 1-year-old in their truck when they were hit. They were coming home from the beach Sunday when they were run off the 101. The CHP says they arrested the driver who caused the wreck, but this all happened around dinner time when thousands of people were on the busy freeway.
This is gonna flip me pretty much.
Looking at the dents on his Chevy Silverado, Alejandro Avalos spoke exclusively with NBC4 about this frightening moment, shared widely on social media, when the driver you see here in this silver Chevy truck ran him off the eastbound 101.
One thing about man, road rage is real, okay? And I'm looking at all that traffic on the highway. We're just going to, all that traffic on that highway, man. It could be rush hour traffic. And people get frustrated. People are tired. They're going places, you know what I'm saying? They're getting off work, going to work, picking up family, picking up kids, picking up the kids from school, dropping the kids off from school. The wife is complaining. Wife having a baby. Husband cheating on them. Boss getting on their nerves.
This is gonna flip me pretty much.
dents on his Chevy Silverado. Alejandro Avalos spoke exclusively with NBC4 about this frightening moment, shared widely on social media, when the driver you see here in this silver Chevy truck ran him off the eastbound 101 Sunday.
I still don't understand the motive of what was the end goal of it, I guess.
Alejandro said around 5 p.m. the driver of that silver Chevy first hit his truck near the 101-405 split.
And he kind of like love tapped me a little bit. Like I didn't think nothing in the situation right there. I'm like, oh, he crashed me, let's pull over. And as I was pulling over, he hit me again. When he flipped me, I'm like, oh, he's gonna stop now, because I'm facing the wrong way of the freeway. And then he kept going. And then that's when I looked back and he was fully messed up and he had a gun.
After the crash,
I wonder if it's gang related. I mean, I'm not gonna rule that out. Like, we're talking about San Bernardino, right? They have a lot of gang ties in that area. And he talking about the man being masked up, having a mask on. Like, I wonder if it's gang related.
CHP said the driver of the silver Chevy pulled out not one, but two fake guns, an imitation shotgun and rifle, as Alejandro, his family, and a friend tried to get away.
It was my girlfriend, and behind her was my daughter, and then my son, and then the friend. He had the gun resting right here, and then he was aiming at my window, and that's when I'm like, oh, everybody get down, and I took off. When I looked back and I seen him, I guess they looked back too, and they seen the guy that was like all messed up, so they were just kind of like tripping out.
Alejandro said they escaped with no injuries. CHP said they arrested the driver of the silver Chevy, who was charged with assault with a deadly weapon, brandishing imitation firearms, and DUI.
My kid and my friends
driving under intoxication. I wonder if it's gang related though. Somebody should tell me that.
Sometimes even truckers need to go somewhere for a little pampering. And Luke Burbank knows just the place.
Hey, when the last time y'all been up there to Iowa 80?
We could tell you the exact address of the world's largest truck stop, halfway between Chicago and Des Moines, but honestly, you can't miss it. It's the size of more than 150 football fields, 900 parking spots for trucks, and a staff of almost 600 people, and a bunch of merch calling it the world's largest. So who are we to argue?
Is there some sort of governmental body that verifies these things?
Unfortunately not. And we have contacted Ripley's Believe It or Not a couple times, and they're like, oh, we don't know how to measure that. A really cool part about trucks versus cars.
Delia Moon
I've never been to the museum side of this place. How about y'all, man? You know, every time I go up there, I'm like, one of these days I'm going to check them out. But I never do.
Meyer is the senior vice president of the Iowa 80 truck stop, which her father, Bill Moon, took over in 1965, just as construction of Interstate 80 expanded, which meant lots more trucks that needed lots more fuel and other things from a growing truck stop. But always on her parents' mind, says Meyer, were the drivers themselves.
My parents loved truck drivers. They thought it was cool. And for whatever reason, they just really got captured by the trucking culture. And they loved taking care of people.
Her father died in 1992, but as the truck stop grew, so too the family belief that truckers, the humans, needed as much maintenance.
I mean, they got everything up there, boy. Let me see, Iowa 80. Let's see. First, they got parking, check. Laundromat, check. Plenty of food choices, check. Barbershop, check. There's a chiropractor there, check. I believe you can get some dental work done there, check. You have a movie theater, check. All right, what else? Truck wash, check. Place for your dog to walk around, and you got different activities you can do. Go to the museum. Like they got a lot, man. Sit down area. There's a whole line, man.
Maintenance as their truck. So next
Workout facility.
to the 24-hour gym, they added a barber shop where Angie Clark spruces up long haulers and TV correspondents alike.
You know, you can't pull a semi-truck just into any shopping center and jump out and get a haircut.
That's a sharp haircut.
So you want to make them look good and feel good. And you know, sometimes they don't get to talk to many people either.
I'd never thought about that, but you're sort of part hairdresser, part therapist.
We're a therapist.
Therapist.
And just down the hall,
it's 99% emergency care. They're looking for pain relief.
Yes, this truck stop has a dentist, Dr. Thomas Romer.
They must be really grateful to roll in here with, because, you know, when you're having tooth pain, it's the only thing you can think about.
These guys, when they can't sleep, they can't eat, they can't function, and then when they walk out of here pretty much pain-free, they're very, very appreciative.
More than 70% of all U.S. freight is moved by truck, which means a lot of sitting.
All right, here we go.
Which is where Dr. Justin Seifert, in-house chiropractor, comes in.
A little looser. Nice. The general population,
I ain't gonna lie, boy. You go to that chiropractor and you get that back cracked, you feel like new money.
just don't believe that a chiropractor would be out here, but it makes perfect sense with truck drivers sitting all the time, and low back pain and mid back pain are their main problems just because they slouch from time to time.
Maybe you need something for your rig.
So what did you come here to get today?
Lug nut covers.
Perhaps something in chrome?
Who doesn't like a chrome shop? A store, for your big rig.
It feels like a mall in comparison to like a convenience store.
And like a mall, there's a food court, a restaurant too, where Rick Denny has been working for 33 years, and his grill is always hot.
33 years. Hey, we can do better than that. That's a real hero right there.
24 hours a day.
We have drivers that are constantly coming in, so they don't always have to follow a schedule from 9 to 5, so we got to be here for them. We never close, and holidays are very, very busy days for us.
These days, Denny is the general manager of the restaurant and can spot folks who might be craving something more than just lunch.
I think when they sit at the counter, they're acknowledging that they want to kind of interact with somebody else, and that. So you see that all day long.
Sure, a buffet can fill your belly, but for spirituals, there's also the Truckers Ministry Office, faithfully run by Pat.
I forgot they got a church there, man. Praise the Lord, everybody.
Pastor Jerry Hull.
What are the sort of spiritual needs that the trucking life kind of creates for people?
Well, the biggest thing is I'm away from home, and I need someone to visit with. I need someone to talk to.
Has anybody gotten saved in this office?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Many, many times.
Federal law mandates that for every 14-hour shift, a trucker needs to take a 10-hour break. So why not catch a flick in the truck stop's movie theater? Or wash your dog.
I mean, I love coming here. It's like it's a Disney World for truckers.
Yeah. There's a lot more selection as far as the shopping, the restaurants, the truck wash, the museum.
Wait, did she just say museum? Yes, across the parking lot sits the Iowa 80 Truck Museum.
This is our 1919 International, and this is the first truck that my dad bought.
America's trucking history parked side by side, a collection started by Delia's father.
This was the fanciest thing you could have gotten back in 1959.
Yes.
And you were supposed to drive your route, and then at night, when it was time to go to sleep, this is what you got?
Yeah, and you loved it because before that, you would have brought a piece of wood and you would have put it over these seats and you would have slept on that piece of wood. So to have a 4-inch foam mattress, you were living the high life.
Thank God for innovation. Thank God for innovation. That's dope.
The museum is free for tourists and truckers alike. Yet another oversized addition to this not-so-slight detour for those who keep America moving.
Our customers are with it people, and they are trying to do a job, and we help them.
That's a good news story right there, man. When the last time y'all been to Iowa 80? All right, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up right there, man. But we're gonna come back though. We're gonna come back.